Listen up. We need to have a little intervention because some of y'all are treating burnout like it is an Olympic sport. And let me guess, you're winning, right? Gold medal in pushing through, silver medal in ignoring your body's warning signs, and honorable mention in convincing yourself that you're just a little tired. We need to talk. Here's the truth. Burnout is not a badge of honor. It does not mean that you are some super hard worker. It is not something to be worn with pride. It's not proof that you are built different, that you are dedicated. It is a giant, huge, red, flashing neon sign that says, hey girl, you're running on fumes. You need to slow down before your body forces you to. So today we're going to break it down what burnout is, why it's so sneaky, and how you can combat it. Why high achievers are the easiest targets, and most importantly, how you can pull yourself out of it before you self-destruct. Sound good? All right. You know what time it is. It's time to tune in and shift with me. Welcome back to the On Some Real Shift podcast, where I have real conversations of what it takes to shift your mindset and up-level your emotional and spiritual life. I'm your host, Vanessa. I'm a certified life coach, mindset coach. I do NLP. I am a Reiki and sound bath healer, but most importantly, I am a student of the university. Welcome back, my friends. First things first, let's get something very clear here. Burnout is not just being tired. If you're thinking, I'm just a little bit tired, I'm fine, are you? Like, are you really fine, or have you gotten just really good at normalizing stress? Because there's a difference. Have you gotten really good at ignoring your needs and over-caffeinating? Yeah. I'm going to give you the real symptoms, and I want you to ask yourself if any of these relate. We'll talk about the first one, which is probably the most obvious, and it is physical exhaustion. And I'm not talking about just I need a nap. I'm talking about my bones feel heavy type exhaustion. My soul is weary. My body feels like an overused iPhone battery, and no matter how much I charge it, it's like not enough. That is a huge sign that you're probably burned out or well on your way to burnout. Number 2 is emotional detachment. You are extra irritable. You're snappy or you're numb. You care, but you also don't. And that applies to like your whole life, whether it's your goals, your relationships, your work, whatever. It's like, it feels like one whole big to-do list that you rather just set on fire. Sign number 3 that you are burned out or heading your way to it is brain fog and decision fatigue. What is that? In short, it is when simple decisions pretty much feel impossible. Have you ever been so exhausted when you open your fridge, you stare at it for like 5 minutes because you can't figure out what the hell you want to eat, so then you just close it because it's like, I can't. You, my friend, are probably burned out. It's when thinking is just too much. Number 4 is loss of motivation and joy. The things that used to excite you, your hobbies, meh, don't know her. Just even the idea of a vacation is too much because the thought of planning it is overwhelming. You, my dear, are burnt out. Now, burnout doesn't just come from work. I think we only think about it in the context of work. Burnout happens when we say yes to everything and everybody. This is why it's so important to have boundaries and enforce them. We have to know when we have to say no to things, people, places, experiences, all of it. And it doesn't always mean that these things are bad for us. Sometimes we just have to know when it's time to replenish our tank. I know a lot of us joke about FOMO, but sometimes you gotta miss out. I don't know about y'all, but as I'm approaching 40, I have a little bit more of JOMO, which is the joy of missing out, because I love replenishing my body with rest. Or that's because I'm a Taurus, I don't know. But the point is, I have no problem replenishing my body. I have no problem saying no to things when I know that my tank is running on empty. But it took a lot of burnout to get here. And I get it. Sometimes we have to show up to things. But burnout is a culmination of the decisions of our life in usually multiple areas, not just work. Work, though, can be like the heavier or heaviest contributor, I'll say, but it really is a culmination of just several of our responsibilities that we don't know how to balance. So let's talk a little bit about why high achievers are the prime targets. Well, first of all, my fellow high achievers, it's because you, my friend, probably associate rest with laziness. See, somewhere along the way, we were taught that slowing down is for the weak. That if we're not grinding 24/7, that we're wasting time. There's that stupid ass saying, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Y'all can miss me with that. No, thank you. I'm going to sleep tonight. I'm going to get my 8 hours of sleep. Matter of fact, about 8:30, I'm winding down. That's what I'm going to do. Because I got stuff that I need to do mañana. But somewhere, somebody told us if we're not grinding 24/7, we're falling behind, and that's simply not true. Let me ask you, behind who? Why are you in a race with them? Oh, okay. Did you sign up for that race? If you didn't, then take yourself out of it. Another reason why high achievers are prone to burnout is because you ignore the signs, because you keep telling yourself that you can handle it. You push through the headaches, the stomach aches, all of the signs that your body is giving you, telling you to slow down. You just keep going like they are minor inconveniences and as if they don't exist, instead of treating them like the alarms from your nervous system that they are. Fun fact, your body is not an unlimited resource. It will shut down on you if you keep treating it like a machine. Number 3, you tie your worth to your productivity. That one hits. This one hits because I used to be this way. Many moons ago, before I got into this work, I did not know who I was outside of my job, outside of my business, outside of my achievements. And then I wondered, God, why do I feel so empty? Well, duh, because you don't know who you are outside of what you complete on paper, Vanessa. If you don't know who you are outside of your goals, outside of your ability to get things done, then rest feels unproductive for you, when rest is literally necessary for us to survive. Rest will start making you question your value. But here's the thing. You are allowed to exist without any output. You are allowed to exist without proving your worth. You are worthy as is. And number 4, one that has been drilled into us subconsciously is somewhere along the way. High achievers, we have been taught that burnout is a part of success. And that is the most screwed up one, but it is true. I don't know who did it. I would like to find them. But hustle culture has been shoved down our throats since God knows how long. And we've been taught it's just like the price that you pay for making it. But like, do you really want to make it if you feel dead inside? You have no energy to experience the fruits of your labor if you're burnt out. Here's the thing about burnout. You can ignore burnout as long as you want to, but it's not going to ignore you. If you don't slow down by choice, your body's going to slow down for you. And trust me, a forced slowdown, a forced shutdown is a lot messier than a planned one. Have you ever met somebody who has worked themselves into a full-on breakdown? It's not a fluke. You're looking at somebody who has allowed burnout to send them to the hospital before and who would never do that again, right? And I'm laughing not because it's at all funny, but because I think about the insanity that was that anybody would think that this is normal. It's not, and I'm really grateful that I am in this line of work. So I had the wherewithal to step back and say, you know what, these are like full blown non-negotiables for me. I work hard, but like these things don't work for me. And I was able to remove myself from the situation and land something that was a beautiful, beautiful fit for me. But that's what happens when you ignore burnout for way too long. Your body will snatch the wheel and say, we're done here. You usually only think about burnout at work. And yes, work can and will burn you out if you let it. But what about the other areas of your life? What other responsibilities do you have on your plate? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you taking time to just care for you instead of caring for others? Now, before we talk about how we can recover from burnout, I want to talk about why we might be chasing burnout. I think a lot of times people are chasing burnout unconsciously. They are running from themselves. People are chasing this busyness because it's easier to tend to everything and everybody but themselves. And if that resonates, if that hits, if you know that you have some tending to do to yourself, if you know that it's time for you to really face your stuff, if you know it's time for you to unpack your shit internally, emotionally, spiritually, and you haven't been because you have been so busy, then maybe it's time to do that. See, we have confused being busy with being successful, with being productive, and those are not synonymous. So you figured out that you're burnt out. Now what? Let's be real, you can't just drop everything and disappear, even though that would be lovely. The good news is you don't have to. Number one is you can start with radical honesty. Stop lying to yourself. Stop saying I'm just busy when you're on the verge of collapse. Call it what it is. Burnout. Give it a name. Awareness is the first step to change. If you're afraid to call it what it is, then it's not going to change until your body makes you. You are not a failure if you are burnt out. It doesn't make you less successful. Number two is schedule do nothing time like it's a business meeting, okay? I need you to start prioritizing your rest in the same way that you are prioritizing your deadlines. If it's not in your calendar, it's not real. Block out time for rest. Block out time for joy. It's non-negotiable. Why are you putting everybody and everything else above yourself? Number three is sleep, and I'm talking about real sleep. Not 4 or 5 hours. I'm talking 7 to 9 hours. This is when our body and our brain repairs itself. And no, it's not lazy. It is necessary. Number four is unplug from anything that is draining you. So if scrolling on Instagram makes you feel like you're not doing enough, then stop or take a break. If certain people exhaust you, set boundaries and enforce them. Audit your energy leaks and start patching them up. As I always say on this channel, your life is in your hands. It is up to you to make the necessary shifts. You have the power. It's just not going to be easy, and that's okay. It's doable. And number five is do something fun that has zero productive value. Read a book for pleasure. Take a class for fun. Watch trash TV. Like I said earlier, your worth is not measured by what you produce. Let yourself just be sometimes. We have to stop wearing burnout like it's a personality trait. It's not proof that you are more important or giving everything your all. It's a sign that something needs to change. And you can change it without losing everything that you've worked for. So here's my challenge this week. Pick one thing that actually feels like rest and do it. No guilt, no excuses. And if your brain tries to convince you that you don't have time to rest, I need you to combat that and tell yourself that you don't have time not to rest. The cost of burnout is much higher than taking a break. If this episode called you out a little bit, don't you worry. You're in good hands, and share it with somebody else that you think could benefit from it too. It's time to start glorifying rest just as much as we start glorifying the grind. As always, I'm so grateful for your time. Until next time, take care of yourself. Peace. And for the love of God, get some rest. Bye.